Q&A so far this week. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Let us know where you're joining us from in the chat. And I love that you guys are getting the hang of things because I already see so many hands up. So just as a refresher, I want to make sure that we get into our question as quickly as possible. No long stories, and ask one question. If you have a second question, you can always raise your hand again, but I want to make sure that we get to as many people as possible in the hour that we have. So before I bring on anyone else, I'm going to bring on Arash. Arash, how are you?
I'm great, Mykie. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you ready for day 4?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, what is the intent for today's call?
Well, I want everyone to look back at their last 12 months. And I want you to look at how your life has changed. Now, what if it has not changed, I will tell you, unless you make changes, it's not going to change in 2025. So this is just a absolute truth. So you want to take a good look at it. And now a lot of people study this information. I have clients who have been studying it for 10 years and then they worked with us and had a massive breakthrough. It's not about just studying the information. It's about implementing it. Now I want to show you guys something. Based on the first few days, this is what I've picked up. Okay. And if you've been here every day, you probably picked it up as well. I want to share a slide with you guys. Okay. I want you to look at this. These lines represent frequency. And this is where you are, and your goal is much higher. But every time you do not accept the idea of what you want, what you're doing is you're just staying down here. You're staying constantly where you are, and nothing's going to change that way. You want more wealth, yet you're speaking in lack. So all you're doing is going to constantly stay in the state you already are. Now, our job is we have to match the mental equivalent of what we want. So we have to be that person. It's not that it's going to take this amount of time. That's not the deal. You have to start thinking, feeling, and acting like that person today. Now, what happens is you have a paradigm. And the paradigm is saying, when I do this, then I can do this. No, that's not the deal. Every time you do, you're literally running into a brick wall every single day. Every single day you're running into a brick wall. Now, if you are going to make 2025 the best year of your life, which I want you to, because it absolutely will be if you decide that it's going to be. But nothing happens without a decision. You have to decide, I'm going all in. I'm upgrading my habits, my disciplines, my standards, my actions. And if you don't, you're constantly going to stay where you are and you're going to keep studying, but nothing's going to change. I want transformation. Transformation is never going to happen playing it safe. Every time you play it safe, all you did is give your old programming more power. But when you make a definite decision and you activate your faith muscle and you see what you want to see, even though you don't see it with your senses, you upgrade your emotional state. What's going to happen is this brick wall is going to come down and you're going to go from where you are to where you want to go. Because you're going to go from the mental equivalent of where your goal is. So I want to make sure it's not, I'm almost there. That's not a decision. I promise you this. Nothing great has happened in your life until you decided so. And I told you on both, I don't know what day it is. Today's Thursday. On the first 3 days, nothing will change without decision. And most people never make a decision. And I want you to hear that. Most people never make a decision. As soon as they make a decision, they don't commit to it, so it's not a decision, it's a wish or a hope. You'll know if you made a decision by your actions. You'll know you made a decision because you do whatever it takes. You'll know you made a decision because you're not starting and stopping. So I just wanted to share that with you to start off with.
I think that is the perfect way to start today's call. And I also want to give one more brief reminder before we get started. If your camera is not on, I'm not going to call on you. I'll just move to the next person. So make sure if you're next in line, you've got your camera on and you're ready to go. Evelyn, you're up first.
Good morning, Arash. How are you?
I'm great, Evelyn. How are you?
So Arash, I seem to be stuck in just doing training, not doing the implementation. I've done the elimination from the transformation live, those action steps. But Raj, I can't seem to move forward. I'm not sure what's making me stuck. I'm like, there's so many things I want to do, but I'm just stuck. What do you suggest I can do?
Number one, I never want you to ever say I'm stuck. That's number one. You just use your I am so recklessly. And all you did was tell your subconscious mind, everything I want is outside of me, keep me stuck. Okay, that's number one. Number two, it's not that you can't do it, you're not deciding to do it. You have not made a decision yet. Now, you decided to get on this call, so you can do it when you decide. So what I want you to do is hold yourself much more accountable and say, this is what I'm doing today. These are the actions I'm doing today. And when you hold yourself to that, you will do it. It starts with one day. Now, the reason people say they're stuck is because they're letting the circumstances control their emotional state. You're letting the circumstances control your thinking. So what I want you to do is have a better game plan for yourself. So every day, your day must be planned the night before. And if it's not planned the night before, you're not going to do it. Because 95% of our day is run by a program. Like my day was planned last night. Like today's already done in my mind. And then I give my subconscious 10 to 12 hours to go work on it before my day even started. But most people are wanting bigger results, but there's no game plan. You have to have a game plan. So I want you to focus on 3 goal-achieving activities every day, because until you do the action, nothing's going to change. Now, you can do all the mindset work, but imagination is not enough. Action is where the magic happens in your life. So we want to bridge that for you. I will tell you, I don't think you're stuck at all. I don't think you're stuck. I think you haven't decided. I think that's where you are. The only reason you're staying stuck is because you want yourself to do more. You want to experience more life, right?
Yes,
but
yes.
Remember, you're looking at the effect when you're saying I'm stuck. You're not looking at the cause. Now, if you told me, Arash, for the last 60 days, I've been doing my 3 goal-achieving activities. I've been hitting my processes every day, and you haven't seen the results, then I would tell you you're stuck. But that's not what's happening. So we've got to have a great plan in place. And then every day by doing it, you're going to do it better the next day, because your brain is always working on using the least amount of energy. Okay, so that's where I think you've got to hold yourself more accountable, Evelyn, and you've got to decide. Don't let your past decide for you. That's what most people do. All your past is somebody different. You're not your past self. So if you want to make massive shifts, which you could do every 90 days, which you should be doing every 90 days, because you have so much potential inside of you. I think everybody should create a quantum leap every 90 days. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to do it if you're playing a 6 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. Okay? You want A+ results with putting out C- effort. It's not going to happen. So I want you to decide right now with me that I am committed to start acting like the person I want to be. And listen to my words. I said acting. You're not going to let the past control you. You're going to say, I'm going to do these 3 action steps every day. And if you do that, I promise you, you're going to shift your results. Do you know why action is so important?
because it'll keep me moving forward. It'll keep me doing the activity. It'll keep me doing be in motion, be in momentum.
Yeah, it's a release of dopamine, number one. And it's no different like if we worked out, okay? Like you release the dopamine. But action is also a signal to the universe, I'm committed to my goals. And action, the universe will go on your behalf to work with you now. But the person who's not taking action, it's not going to happen. Without commitment, nothing happens. The universe is energy. It's 99.999% energy. The energy of commitment is so much stronger than the energy of staying in one state. Okay? So when you're in motion, the whole universe is in motion with you. That's why action is so important.
Thank you, Evelyn. Miriam, you're up next.
Sure.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Yesterday, I did what you asked, and I went to the mall. I actually went to the richest neighborhood. It took about an hour to drive up there, but I did it. I brought my family along. And of course, everything that I'm doing, I paid for everybody, and I didn't feel that restraint. I didn't feel that, what is going on? So I was very conscious. It was just, we all had a great time. We were up there for about 4 hours, which was great. Now, I noticed that there were things I was looking at spending $10,000 on, and those things are luxurious items, but I kept looking at the fact that, okay, this doesn't have these qualities that I want, so I wouldn't spend this much money on this just because it's the price. But is it waterproof? Is it durable, or is it so fragile that I can't have it? I can't let it break. So my question is it poverty mindset to think that it's okay to spend like $500,000 on a house and buy my dream car, than to go and maybe buy a piece of jewelry that is like $20,000, but I don't really feel like it's worth it. You know what I mean? Is it okay to spend that much money on it just because it's luxurious, but I don't really like see the value in it? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're in your head. Here's my thing in spending. If I want it, I get it. If I don't want it, I don't get it.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Okay.
Like, do you want it? Yes. The whole purpose of you spending $10,000 a day is not for you to be in your head. It's for you to create a healthy relationship with money. So I don't want you to be in the head. Like, if you don't want something, don't get it.
Okay.
Wants are the prerequisite to everything we're doing. Wants create abundance. But you're missing out on the purpose of this.
Okay.
The purpose, we want to have a purpose behind everything we're doing. Like, if you looked at Evelyn's questions, her purpose of that question was like, there's something I'm missing. I want to get the answer so I stop missing it. But you're in your head, but you're not just in your head with that. You're in your head all day long. Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. So if you're in your head, you're not in your heart. Your heart is where all the power is. Your heart is where your genius is. So every time we're analytical, we are overthinking and we're driven by lack. I want you to get out of your head and into your heart. Now, when you buy something, if you don't want it, I'm not telling you just to do this exercise on things you don't want. Like, if you see a car you like, say, it feels so great, I could pay for that. Okay. If you see something you want to buy in the store, say, I could buy that. What you're doing is you're changing your relationship. That's the purpose of it. So don't get analytical with it, or else you're going to stunt your growth.
Okay. And one more thing, because I'm really focusing on your program and what you're telling me to do. And I want to know if you have a list of recommended books that I can just focus on for the rest of starting now into 2025. So I don't get mixed up in all of the hoorah, because there's always somebody bringing out something big in personal development. But I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to stay focused on the track of what, the specific improvements and growth that I want to make in my life. And I want to know if you have recommendations of books, because I have your book already. And I want to know if I should focus on that alone, or if there's other books that I can.
Well, you don't need more books.
Oh,
You've got to study it. You got to learn how to study the book.
okay.
Okay, the books, I can give you 1,000 books. I mean, I will tell you, I'm an avid student. So I can give you that. But if you studied my book, because you already have it, but if you studied every chapter for the next year for 30 days, study the first chapter, read it every day for 30 days. And if you're not behaving like that chapter, don't move on. Keep doing it. You're going to get the most out of it that way. Don't get the seduction that more is better. Less is more. So if, like the process of a quantum leap is about elimination. It's not about doing more things. It's about doing few things in a great way. Most people are doing too many things, and they're doing it in a very average way or mediocre way. But then you'll see elite performers, world-class performers. They focus on a few things and they do it in a great way. If you came and watched me, I do a few things every day. But every day my intent is to get better and better and better at those things. And that's where the results keep magnifying themselves.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Sure, my pleasure. I want you out of your head, though.
Okay. Out of my head.
Thanks, Marianne. Jillian, you're up next.
Hi, Arash.
How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. So good to connect again.
You too. Good to see you.
This year has been a great year for me. There has been lots of transformation and a few opportunities that I feel that were the specific goal that I was looking to achieve with my books. I feel like they did smash into my life, but then they kind of, I wasn't able to hold it. I wasn't able to. So I felt like the opportunity has maybe disappeared for a while, or it might come back, or I don't know how to stay in the vibration. But I was so happy that I was able to attract it, because it meant that I was able to get to that vibration. But then it just seemed to smash out again, or it fizzled out. So and so I wasn't able to completely achieve it. I wasn't able to achieve it. I mean, I didn't achieve it. Like my big goals. I'm just able to achieve the small goals, which is like local craft fairs and things like that. But that's what I feel like most comfortable with. But I want to sell I want to kind of get my books out to like bulk buyers who would put them to hospitals and things. I think my book could help heal children and help them with self-love if they were ill and things like that. So I was trying to attract an opportunity like that before Christmas, and I'm just wondering, how would you do that?
Well, number one, you have to change your attitude towards what is big and what is small. You have a different attitude towards smaller goals, so you automatically accept that idea. The bigger ones you're separate from. So you think it's going to be hard. What I will tell you that I want you to stop doing. Stop assigning a level of difficulty before you get started.
Right.
Nothing is big or small. Your attitude towards it makes it so. So if you want to attract it before Christmas, you've got to be definite, and you got to say, these books I'm going to get a sale for these books, or a contract for these books by December 25th or sooner. And you got to be definite. Then you got to get out of the way. But I want you to feel how you would feel if you already had that. See, if you look at your feeling towards it, it will tell you your automatic attitude. And emotion is going to bring everything quicker, faster, bigger than you could imagine if you're in the right emotional state. So I want you to let go of the how, and I want you to let go of your past. You're comparing it to what you've done in the past. Now, opportunities are never anybody's challenges. There's a million opportunities, and I'm not exaggerating. Like today, there are going to be a million opportunities that people are acting on. So opportunities is never going to be your challenge. But we've got to build an enormous image and standard of yourself, because you will never outperform the image. We can't outperform our identity. So we want to stop accepting ideas that this is I can attract small stuff, but not big stuff. We're attracting all day long. Everything in our life is attraction. So we are creating all day long based on our unconscious thinking. But when we make it conscious and we start accepting it, that's when the magic happens. Am I making sense?
Right. So accept.
It's done. Like, you got to write out exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. And it is already done.
Accept the big goal. Accept the big goal.
You got to accept it naturally. This isn't like I'm asking you to force the acceptance. You want to accept it just as much as you're breathing right now or you're talking to me. You want to accept it that effortless. It's just a part of me. What happens that people push their goals away, they're not comfortable with the idea. So when you're not comfortable with the idea, you don't feel worthy of it. We've got to already be comfortable with it. You have an imagination that is on the 4th dimension. Your physical is 3rd dimension. Yet everyone is wanting to create better results, but they're trying to do it 3rd dimension. It never happens. You have to tap into the 4th dimension first, build that picture like it's already here, and then you're going to experience it in the 3rd dimension. So if I were you, I would create a great self-talk with myself and practice how I would present it to people who'd want to buy your book and what it would do for the children. And I'd practice it until you get so much confidence in it. You may need to practice it 100 times a day. Then you go out and you keep putting it out there, and I promise you're going to get it back.
Right. Okay. That's what I'll do.
I don't want you to hold back. I don't want you to hold back at all. Okay?
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
I'm
trying to elevate.
But just make a decision for today. Just for today, I'm not holding back. Just for today. Just for today, I'm not holding back. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do it for one day, Arash.
Then when you wake up tomorrow, say, just for today, I'm not holding back.
I'm not going to hold back. Right, okay.
Like, I'm giving you something that's important to understand if you want to create your goals. If you don't want to create your goals, then keep holding back. So what do you want? Do you want comfort, or do you want to help these children?
Yeah, I want to be one of these people that creates, massive positive impact and helping the children.
Remember that.
For me to do that, I have to get bigger, or I have to allow myself to allow the bigger goals to come in if I'm going to help at that level.
Don't forget why you wrote the books. Do not forget that. Okay? None of my goals ever have been achieved in my comfort zone. None of them. You have to have guts. I remember when I was first getting mentored by my mentor, it was like the first week. And he said, without guts, nobody wins. He says, you have to have guts. And I remember that. And I was like, I think I have guts. And I was like thinking about that question. And I was like, do I have guts? And, then I started observing myself because it created such an emotional impact. And then I don't know if it was that conversation or another one before, but I started doing everything out of my comfort zone. When you want it badly enough, you'll do it. So if you don't want it badly enough, you'll always know if you want it badly enough based on your commitments. So remember that, okay?
Yeah, I do want it badly because I've been going for some time now, and I'm not giving up until it's done. It's got to happen. It's got to be done before I can be at peace.
But stop assigning a level of difficulty to it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Sure.
Thanks,
my pleasure.
Arash.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Shelley.
good to connect.
Chantal, you're up next.
Great to see you.
Hi, Chantal. How are you?
Great. Okay, so question. So what we're doing, we're helping people to immigrate in Canada. So that's what we do. And I know it's a huge value, yet I still have this resistance when it comes to increasing our price. Because I'm thinking, sometimes I look at where the people are, the currency difference, and the competition sometimes, and I'm like, I know it's a huge value, but I have this resistance. What can I do about it?
Well, I've told you what to do. You ask me the same question every time.
Every time?
Every single time.
It's still different though.
No, none of it's different. You asked me the same question when we were in Toronto. You asked me the same question when we were in Peak Performers. And I give you the same answer, but the reason I'm telling it to you like this, you're not willing to do what I'm telling you to do. So if you actually tried what I told you, you wouldn't have this. So you have to decide that, do I really want to charge more? No one pays based on price. They pay based on value. You do not have a healthy relationship with money. And we have to increase your self-worth. This is all an identity. You have to work inside to change this program. And until you change it on the inside, you're not going to change it on the outside. And so you have to, do you believe in what you do?
Yes,
Okay.
of course, yes.
Okay, and then how come you are charging the same as what you told me for the last 9 months?
But it's more like now I feel less resistance, still resistance, but I feel less resistance though.
But why do you have resistance at all? If you really believe in what you do, why do you have resistance?
Okay.
So you may say you believe it intellectually, you don't believe it emotionally. You're letting the market dictate what you should charge, and it's a big error. Like, it's not just you. Most people are charging too little because they don't value themselves.
Yeah.
So I want you, forget about the money. Forget about the money. Forget about what you're charging. I want you to really see all your success stories of how many people your company has helped. Now, if I said, how much, like, go to these people and say, can I ask you a question? We're just doing an inventory of our company. Now that I've helped you get to where you want to go, how much would that have been worth to you? You know, go and write out your top 20 success stories this year. Because we have to change it. Like, I'm going to give you the same process, but unless you do it, it doesn't work. Unless resistance is the biggest waste of time. You know why people have resistance? Because they think little of themselves. That's why they have resistance. The minute you have resistance, you got to do the thing you resist. If you don't, every part of your body is being operated from fear. Every part of your body, every fiber of your body is operating from fear. But fear isn't where the resistance came from. The resistance came because I doubt myself. I've accepted a thought of doubt deep inside of me because doubt is the enemy, not fear. Doubt is what clutters success. Now, like when I was looking at you, when I look at you, when I was looking at Jillian just now, I already accept the ideas of what you guys want. Because I know that's all I have to do to coach somebody. So I always see them where they want to be, not where they are. So you've got to start seeing yourself, and you've got to stop transferring doubt to your customers. So if you're charging and you're worried about money, I wonder if they have it. That's not the deal. That's none of your business. This is what we charge. This is what we offer. And I am going to really help you get to where you want to go. And then your job is to be confident in what your price is and speak it. And if you communicate your presentation effectively and you do effective work, which I know you do, then you are going to be compensated. But if you're always saying, I'm resistant, all you are is a victim. That's all you are. So I'm telling you this very bluntly today because I want you to create an emotional impact so you get it. Because I can give you the same answer. I have no problem doing that. But I want you to actually do what I tell you to do because I know it works. I'll tell you, there was a lady a couple weeks ago. She was in a lawsuit. And I told her exactly what to do. We got a message from her yesterday. She goes, I did exactly what... She's in our Quantum Leap coaching program. She said, I did exactly what Arash told me, and the lawsuit was dropped.
Wow.
So, like, if you do it, it works. I promise you, I know what I'm talking about. But if you're trying to get me to prove it to you, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in proving it to you. I'm interested in you proving it to you. Okay?
So every time for every client.
Every time. Like the minute you do it, you transform your identity. The minute you do it, even if they say no, that you are willing to fail at your future self, then succeed at your present self. You're playing it too safe, in my opinion. In my opinion, you are the epitome of what I talked about yesterday. People want to double, triple, quadruple their results without changing. It is not going to happen. And what I mean by changing, like doing things that are out of your comfort zone, that's what creates change. So I know you can sell at your current price point, but it's an irritation for you because there's your soul saying, come on, there's more for us to do. Why are we charging so little? Why do you think this keeps coming up? Because your desire is coming from God working through you, but you're stopping it with the resistance. Okay?
I will review that over and over and over. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
Thank you, Chantal. Dwayne, you're up next. Oh, we can't hear you.
Okay, there it goes. Thank you. Hey, good morning, Arash.
Good morning, Dwayne. How are you?
Hey, I'm glad to be alive. Thank you. Hey, so my question was very similar to Evelyn's question about the feeling of being stuck and so on, and you gave some very good answers there. And just more on top of that, like when I looked throughout my year of 2024, like I did a lot of stuff that exceeded the past year, but I know there was a lot left on the table. And I feel like there was I know there was a lot of starting and stopping for myself. And now at the end of the year, or like even throughout the year, like there's just be those points of time, like it's just like there's so much more I need to do. I love my job, but I feel like there's something missing. And it creates a feeling of satisfaction and a dissatisfaction of where it's like, where do I go? And I get to my work, sometimes it's just the day just kind of melts away. Look back, it's like, well, what did I really do? They didn't go into it toward my goal. Like my goal is financial freedom, but I have no idea how that's going to be achieved. And I know you said, don't worry about the how.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm letting opportunities slip. And now I feel like I'm at that point of like, do I start completely over? Like, how do I go forward from here?
Well, number one, if the goal is financial freedom, you have to fall in love with that idea first. And, you're never going to be financially free if you're beating yourself up. So what creates financial freedom is emotional freedom. So we have to upgrade our emotional state. And so we're upgrading our standards, our thinkings, and our habits. So I want you to assume from this point that if you were already financially free, how would you feel?
Emotionally free, like just like I would have a lot of worry, doubt, fear, just leave.
Okay, I want better emotions. See, those emotions are in lack. I said you want to be financially free, and then you brought up worry, doubt, and fear. Okay, so just in my question, your answer tells me what you're automatically coming from, the state you're automatically coming from. So that is not the mental equivalent of financial freedom. You would agree with that, yes? So from this moment on, you can't do anything about what's happened to this point. I want you to learn from your past, but I don't want you to feel bad about it. What I want you to commit to is I am going to create financial freedom. And I want you to measure in 2025 exactly what you want to earn, not 5% better than last year. I want it to be what you want. And then we've got to start programming you already like you're that person. If you show up every day, Dwayne, and you've already achieved your vision of success, you will become it. Now, the law works the same way for small goals. It works the same way for big goals. It works the same way for everything in our life. Every breakthrough starts with an idea. Now, we have to build the seed and let the seed grow. If I say you're going to create financial freedom and you start and stop, you're never going to let the seed grow. But we've got to stop being obsessed with the outside result and more being obsessed about our processes, our habits, our standards, and our attitudes. See, you're not accepting the idea of financial freedom. So I have no doubt you did better than last year. I believe that. But I want you to stop thinking of incremental results. I want you to open your heart and open your mind that I can create a quantum leap. You know, I remember when I first started doing this work, like really, the first 3 years, I was just gathering information. I wasn't doing it properly. But then I really committed to it. I was in so much debt. I was almost multiple 6 figures in debt. And in that year, I said, I'm going to make this into a game and I'm going to do exactly what my mentor told me to do. And what I realized, in 90 days, I had earned more money in a month in 90 days than I did in the 2 years prior. See, the mind is the most powerful tool we have, but we're using it backwards. We're using it thinking the results tell us who we are. But if we would lock in every day and just build the disciplines, build the confidence, build the courage, but the key is you got to fall in love with the idea. I can tell you to build all these, but if you're not in love with the idea, as soon as you have adversity, because I promise you you're going to get adversity, that's where people wilt. That's where they wilt. And so I want you to commit to shifting your mindset from a poverty consciousness to a wealth consciousness. So I want you from today on to start speaking abundance in your life. I want you to speak how you would speak if you were financially free. If you were financially free, you'd feel so at peace. You know, the whole reason people want financial freedom is for the choices it would give them. No one, I tell people this all the time, no one is motivated by money. They think it is. I want everyone to have more money so they can have more freedom. But you know what they're motivated by is the feeling that the money would give them, not the money itself. So when we're charging too little for our services, we're not understanding who we are. The spiritual essence of us is absolutely perfect. If one person can create great wealth, so can you. But we've got to get much better at accepting ideas. You're accepting ideas based on circumstances. Circumstances is always the effect, not the cause. Okay?
I agree, and I also feel like looking back and studying myself, I also feel like I have to work on my image and my worthiness, because I get these moments of where, like, if someone is in a position that's, according to the job, up higher than me, like, it's hard for me to, or I get these feelings of like, okay, I can't communicate properly with them because they're not a higher position than me. Like, how do I get around that? Like, how do I fix that?
Well, you stop accepting that idea. We're all the same. You know, just because somebody's more successful than you doesn't mean they're better than you. They're just more aware in that area. Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I genuinely do not believe I'm better than anybody. I think we're all the same. You know, like, you're only seeing it based on your identity, but identity is something we have to work on every day, and we are working on it every day. Every action we take today impacts our identity. Every standard impacts our identity. You know, I have a client, Liz, who decided to come to our World-Class Wealth event yesterday. That woman has no idea what is about to happen for her, but she changed her identity the moment she decided. And I told Monica, I said, I cannot wait to work that closely with her. You know, but these are identity shifts. These are massive identity shifts, but we think identity is only the bad parts of our identity. There's very good parts of your identity. So I want you to start looking at the good in you, not what you're not. All we have to do is understand you're the home you live in right now is on the frequency down here. The home you want to live in is on this frequency. So you have to match that frequency by the decisions you make, by the actions you make, by the thoughts you think of, and by the standards you hold. Standards are so important. If you understand standards, the most important part of standards is integrity and character. Your standards build your integrity. They build your character. They're not just there about anything regarding your ego. This is just that I value myself. I'm not accepting myself under this. And I would recommend you hold financial freedom as your new standard.
Thanks a lot, Arash.
Sure.
I really appreciated that. I needed that. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you, Dwayne. David, you're up next.
Hey, how you doing, Arash?
I'm great, David. How are you?
Doing great. Love the new backdrop. I don't know if that's new or not, but it looks great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is my other office. So
it looks great. But I have never gained so much momentum going into the new year since I've been studying this material, and it's been absolutely amazing gaining that momentum, knowing I'm going into the new year with that. So with that being, everything is an awareness. And I just want to know, it's like how to keep that awareness and how to build that awareness muscle. And it could be a broad question.
No, I understand the question. You do it just like you're doing right now. You do it one day at a time. You do it one day at a time. You do today's growth today. And now, the consistency is key. You've been consistent. We were actually bragging about you yesterday off camera because Mykie and I were talking about, since you came to my event, Transform, how much you changed, So, but I want you, if you want to increase your awareness, I want every decision you make coming from abundance. I want every decision you make coming from who you would be had you already achieved it, from your future self. And you do this every day, and the repetition of doing it is creating more confidence. It's creating a greater belief. And eventually your belief is going to be unshakable. When you have unshakable belief, there's nothing that you will ever accept that limits you. When your belief is not unshakable, you're going to let the circumstances control you. So the first thing we have to do, which you already know, because I can already tell because you told me it yesterday, you know exactly what you want. The second step now is to create unshakable belief. The third step is I take inspired action every day. And so I'm not trying to make it happen. I know it's going to happen. The outcome's already done. And I'm taking my actions with confidence, with swagger, with this deep knowingness. And the fourth step is complete detachment. I'm going to be patient with myself. The more you let go, the faster it's going to come. The more we hold on, the faster we're pushing it away. But letting go does not mean you don't want it badly enough. Letting go is you trust yourself. You trust the processes. How do you know if you trust the processes? Because you're working on your processes every day and you trust the universe. The universe knows whether you trust it or not. The universe is just an extension of your consciousness. That's all it is. So it knows whenever I ask somebody, do they believe it? And they'll tell me yes, but emotionally I feel they don't. If I can feel it, I promise you that's what they're putting out.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know there's a lot of questions with a lot of people, and I want to make sure everyone gets their question into you. So that was great, Arash. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thanks, David. Kyle, you're up next.
Hey, sorry for the delay.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. Couple of questions.
Sure. Do you mind standing still? You're making me dizzy.
Yeah, I'm in a school, so I'm trying to find a quiet space. First question, let's just stick with the one question.
Okay.
I've got a friend, kind of significant other, who may be interested in joining with Voss. How would I go about doing that?
just send them to us and we'll help your friend. I mean,
Okay.
that's what we do. So, I mean, just send it. You work with Monica, just send it to Monica and she will help your friend.
Okay, so just link her up with Monica?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, good. That's your question?
All right.
All right, sounds
Yes.
good.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks, Arash.
Sure.
Eddie, you're up next.
Good morning, Rush.
Eddie, how are you? It's been a while, my friend.
Yeah, well, I've been out there doing what you sent me to do.
Oh, good. Very good.
I wanted to come back when I had something to come back with.
All right, great. Well, good to see you again.
Same here. I have, in the past year, been working on a program that I would like to take into the high schools,
Okay.
relevant to your teaching here at Voss and obviously Dr. Gallagher.
Uh-huh.
Relevant to, I don't know if people understand, but the pandemic really got into the education in this country in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people young people from freshmen in high school on out, are having difficulties with understanding who they are, what they are. Because as Bob had said, and it's something I heard him speak of, much of our thinking comes from, first of all, our environment and what we're around. And there's no classes in any high schools or colleges or anything that address thinking as a primary subject. Most of it is as a ride along in classes like science, technology, engineering, or math. But there's nothing directly helping kids understand. You don't think with your brain, you think with your mind, what the mind is, and these sorts of things. So after our last conversation, you spurred me really nicely, and I got a chance to go and meet with the mayor and explain to him what I believe would be an ideal situation in order to get people help, because if you go to the origin, you stand a chance at developing a whole lot more than waiting for symptoms that appear, and now you're trying to address symptoms and not addressing the root problem of how are you thinking and why are you thinking that way. And so I was just interested in trying to understand how I would approach something. I wrote out a program called the Fundamental Dynamics of Thinking and Personal Development / Self-Governance, because there's a lot of issues sometimes in some of the schools with kids not understanding how to govern themselves properly, relevant to all sorts of reasons. So I just want to get a clue, I think I'm going the right way, and how to address this from just a fundamental way for sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school. Mm-hmm. And I've taken, jumped off of your Quantum Leap program relevant to philosophy, and also to use the Power Five as a real fundamental space so that they understand those things and what's got them going, and also consciousness. And I just want to know, how would you approach this?
The first thing I would do if I was working with high school kids, because I have young people I work with, is I work with them on what they want and setting goals, and I work with them on identity.
Yes.
Most high school kids do not have a strong identity. They're very driven by the outside. So if it was me, I would make it very simple for them. And I would work on goals, identity, philosophy, and standards is what I would do.
Okay.
Those are the four that I would work on. Because if they can start, your standards create your identity. So, But your philosophies create your standard. It starts with philosophy. Your philosophy creates your standard creates your story creates your identity, and the identity creates the result. So I would be really working with them really closely on identity.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend.
All right. Appreciate that,
All
Rush.
right. Great seeing you.
Same here. I'll be back.
All right. Good.
Thanks, Eddie. Karina.
Hi, hello, Arash.
Hello, Karina.
We know each other too.
Yes.
I don't know if you only remember me.
I do. Great to see you again.
I think the last time we spoke was about 3.5 years ago when I got my concussion.
Yes.
Because you told me you had one too.
Yeah.
I'm still suffering of this concussion. I'm not able to do anything, so I cannot call Monica to work closely with you because I don't have the energy. And now is my question, can you make an affirmation for me, or what am I doing wrong that I'm still in the same position? Because
yes, I remember
to get out and
yeah, I remember it very well. And so let me ask you this: what are your symptoms right now?
Pressure in the head, but the most important thing is so tired that I'm not able to do anything. If there is something wrong in my brain, it's not an injury because the MRI and scan and all those things are okay.
That's good.
So it's not damaged, but it's not working like it should work, like your brain is working.
Yeah. So I would, here's a good affirmation for you. And then I'm going to give you a thought, okay? I'm so happy and grateful now that every cell of my being is in perfect health. My brain is perfectly healthy. I feel like I did when I was 21. I am in complete health, and it feels great. But what I want you to do, when you're fighting an illness, it's very easy to focus on the illness. It's very easy. When we don't feel our best, it's very easy to fall to that. But I want you to visualize yourself doing the things you want to do. And if you could visualize even 2 minutes, a couple times a day, your body is a manifestation of the mind. So if we let the mind help you and create the health regarding your concussion, but I don't want you to speak about the concussion anymore. Okay, you already know you had a concussion 3.5 years ago. I want you only speaking from health. You've got to see yourself healthy. I want you to picture your day. If you were completely healthy, what would you be doing? And that's what I want you to do. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. But you got to do it every day. The repetition of doing it is going to change what's going on inside of you.
I'm doing it already when I see myself on the dance floor with my dance partner.
Perfect.
Dancing, but
yeah, just let go though. You're holding on to it. And I know you don't feel as well, and I understand that, okay? But you keep giving not feeling well more power, you're going to keep having not feeling well in your life. It's become an obsession. I want the opposite to be an obsession. Just try this. For 30 days, you don't mention the word concussion. Okay? All you're going to do is see yourself healthy. Just for 30 days, don't even mention it. Okay? That's what I want you to work on. Okay.
And today I ordered your book, and because you said to the other person to do one chapter in a month.
Yeah.
Is that also a chapter for health or something? No.
Well, the whole like for me, wealth is health. Without health, there is no wealth. There is no prosperity. So, all of the principles work the same in my book. I have a new book actually coming out in March that's a much deeper book that I would encourage you get. It's all about transformation. It's called Transform. But every principle works the same. So just change the word towards health when you hear wealth, okay? Because wealth is all different areas. It's not prosperity. Prosperity is one area of wealth. But without health, there is no prosperity doesn't matter. So I want you in the first quarter of 2025, let's set a goal. By April 1st, you are going to have no more symptoms of your concussion. Okay, by April 1st. But I want you every day seeing yourself. Okay?
How am I going to do this?
Well, you got to stop speaking what you don't want. Number one, you're speaking the opposite of what you want too often during the day. You got to stop that. You can't speak one more time about it. You already know what your results are. So speaking about it is only going to make it worse, not better. Okay? But I want you to feel in every cell of your body you're completely healthy. You've got to feel it. And then when you're visualizing, I want you to see yourself doing the dancing with your partner, smiling. And you're telling your partner, I have missed this so much. You know, like, that's what I want you to do. Okay? Very nice seeing you again. Sure, my pleasure.
Thank you, Karina. All right, we've got time for just one last question. So James, you're going to be our last question today. I know we still had a lot of hands up, but don't worry. We have one more Q&A call tomorrow. So go ahead and join us tomorrow.
Hi, Arash.
Hi, James. How are you?
I'm very fine. Hi, Mykie. Finally, this is a call from Florence, Italy.
Oh, I love Florence.
Yeah, I shuttled from Nigeria to Italy and back. I work as an architect in Nigeria, but I've lived in Italy the whole of my life. Actually, 45 years in Italy. Finally talking to you, Arash. I love the Boss group. I follow you on the podcast as well. I've listened to several. I have a good deal of your YouTube videos that I follow. There's one that particularly hit me so hard, and I love it so much. One on self-image, and I have a very strong morning routine, among which I write to my future person, my future self, every single day, and this has been going on for the past at least 2 months. And of course, that includes reading. Look what I have here. Okay. Just one question. I have 1,001 questions actually, but let me just start with one. I'm in a far better place than I was a year ago, but I still know that I am far from where I want to get to. I have a goal, and you gave an explanation yesterday that clarified something very clearly for me, and that is my rapport with money. Mm-hmm. When you told the gentleman that asked the question, said, when you're spending money, how do you feel when you spend money? That tells you exactly your feeling, your relationship with money. I immediately understood that I don't have a very good relationship with money, but I do spend money. I spend money. I'm sort of impulsive sometimes. I don't believe that there's nothing I cannot eventually afford. But sometimes when I go in and spend the money, I find out that, I put myself in a fix financially. Now, my question is, if I really step in the shoes of the person I want to be, my goal, if that entails using money, spending money, going into a bar where I can have a nice cappuccino, sitting down like GD in Florence, and things like that. How do I understand whether I'm squandering money or actually using it that is personifying the person I want to be in the future, my future self?
Yeah. So number one, money is an interesting thing because most people make a god of money and they devalue themselves. And we've got to get comfortable with the idea of money in our life. Now, I would recommend you spend your money on what you want to spend it on. And if you can't afford it, I'm not asking you to be reckless with it at all. Spend it in your mind. Like, let's say there's something you want, but that would take you over where your standard of living is, right? What I would tell you is spend it in your mind like you already bought it. And always keep money in your wallet. Always keep money in your wallet. Because your subconscious mind is seeing it. So then it's going to keep bringing you more of the money. But what we have to start understanding, every time you spend money, I want you to imagine it's coming back 10 times. Because you're activating the law of circulation. I've done this forever. Like anytime I spend money, I go, I'm so grateful that it's coming back tenfold. So when we hold the money tight, it's because we don't trust. Money has laws, and I've said this on many forums. the reason people who have a lot of money is because they decided to have a lot of money. Money is about transformation. It's about yourself. And so, but if I have a bad relationship with money, money's going the other way, I promise you. So I used to have a bad relationship with money, and I'm grateful that I was honest with myself and I changed it. You know, one of the things that I did that you could learn from is I love looking at my weaknesses. I have forever. And so I would attack them right away instead of lying and suppressing that feeling like it's not there. You know, I think one of the keys around really you living the way you want to live, James, is being brutally honest with yourself, but not beating yourself up. Okay? And, you know, I use this affirmation years ago that had such an impact on me from Dr. Joseph Murphy, where he says, I like money, I love it, I use it for the good in my life. You know, and this, it's like a paragraph. Well, I was writing it out every day. But then I said, I want to become every word of this. So until I became every word of it, I kept doing it. I probably did it for 2 years. Now I have a very healthy relationship with money. I don't really think about money other than a report card of the good that I'm doing, more than anything. I want more money because that tells me I create more growth. So I would just look at it instead of saying to yourself, you know, can I have it? Like, do you want it? If you want it, make a decision you're going to get it. Like if you want more money right now, let's say you said in 2025, I want to 10x my income. If you decide every day and for 12 months, if you were 10 times more consistent than you are right now, I guarantee your income would change. I guarantee it. Your income will change in 90 days. But what happens is we're not open to bigger ideas. We think we are because we study this. But we want to look at our results. Our results will tell us exactly what we're putting inside of us. No more, no less. Okay?
Got it. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Maybe tomorrow I'll have another question.
Okay, sounds good. You take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Arash.
Sure.
Arash, that's a wrap on another incredible Q&A session. So we have just one more tomorrow, same time, same place.
All right, looking forward to it. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.
All right, thanks everyone.
Bye. Bye.